Namaste, I am JVN Anushka Tyagi. My module name is Patanjali Yoga Sutra, subject name Yoga Philosophy, discipline Yoga and Naturopathy, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science. Introduction. The Yoga Sutra of Patanjali are a collection of 196 Indian Sutra or the story on the story and practice of yoga. The Yoga Sutra were compiled prior to 400 CE by sage Patanjali, who synthesized and organized knowledge about yoga from older traditions. The Yoga Sutra of Patanjali was the most translated ancient Indian text in the medieval era, having been translated into about 40 Indian languages and 2 non-Indian languages, Old Javanese and Arabic. David Gordon White points to a period of when the text fell into relative obscurity for nearly 700 years from the 12th to 19th century and made a comeback in late 19th century due to the effort of Swami Vivekananda, the Theosophical Society and others. It gained prominence again as a comeback classic in the 20th century. Author and dating. The Yoga Sutra text is attributed to Patanjali. Much confusion surrounds this Patanjali because an author of the same name is credited to be the author of the classical text on Sanskrit grammar named Mahabhashya. Yet the two works in Sanskrit are completely different in subject matter. Furthermore, before the time of Bhoj, 11th century, no known text state that the author were the same. Phillips A. Mays Patanjali's Yoga Sutra dated to be about 400 CE based on tracing the commentaries on it published in the first millennium CE and a review of extant literature. Edwin Brandt, on the other hand, surveys the major commentators in the translation of the Yoga Sutra. He observes that most scholars date and text shortly after the turn of the Common Era, circa 1st to 2nd century, but that it has been placed as early as several centuries before that. Bryant concludes that a number of scholars have dated the Yoga Sutra as late as the 4th or 5th century CE, but these arguments have all been challenged. All such arguments for a late date are problematic. These are the 4 chapters in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Number 1 is Samadhi Pad, 2nd is Sadhan Pad, 3 is Vibhuti Pad and 4 is Kaivalya Pad. Number 1 Samadhi Pad. It has 51 sutras. Samadhi refers to a state of direct and reliable perception where the yogi's self-identity is absorbed into the object meditated upon. Collapsing the categories of witness, witnessing and witnessed, Samadhi is the main technique the yogin learns by which to dive into the depth of the mind to achieve Kaivalya. The author described yoga and then the nature and the means to attain Samadhi. This chapter contains a famous definitional verses Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It means yoga is the restraint of mental modifications. Number 2 Sadhan Pad. Sadhan Pad has 55 sutras. Sadhana is the Sanskrit word for practice or discipline. Here the author outlined 2 forms of yoga, Kriya Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, 8 folds or 8-limbed yoga. Kriya Yoga is in the Yoga Sutra is the practice of 3 of the niyama of Ashtanga Yoga, Tap, Swadhyaya and Ishwar Pranidhan. Austerity, self-study and devotion to God. Ashtanga Yoga is the yoga of 8 limbs, Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Number 3 is Vibhuti Pad. It has 55 sutras. Vibhuti is the Sanskrit word for power or manifestation, supranormal powers. Sanskrit Siddhi are acquired by the practice of yoga. Combined simultaneous practice of Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi is referred to as Samyam and is considered a tool of achieving various perfections or siddhis. The text warns that these powers can become an obstacle to the yogi who seeks liberation. Kaivalya Pad is the 4th chapter. It has 34 sutras. Kaivalya literally translated to isolation but as used in the sutras stands for emancipation or liberation and is used where other texts often employ the term moksha or liberation. The Kaivalya Pad describes the process of liberation and the reality of the transcendental ego. 8 components of yoga. Number 1 Yam, number 2 Niyam, number 3 Asana, number 4 Pranayam, 5th is Pratyahara, 6th is Dharana, 7th is Dhyan and 8th is Samadhi. Number 1, Yam. Yamas are ethical rules in Hinduism and can be thought of as moral imperatives. The 5 Yamas listed by Patanjali in Yoga Sutra: Ahimsa, non-violence; Satya, truthfulness; Aste, non-stealing; Brahmacharya, chastity, martial fidelity or sexual restraint. 5th is Aparigraha, non-awareness or non-possessiveness. Niyama. The second component of Patanjali's yoga path is called Niyama, which includes virtues, habits, behaviors and observances. Sadhana path verses 32 lists the Niyamas as Soch, purity; Santosh, contentment; Tapa, persistence; Swadhyay, study of Vedas; and Ishwar Pranidhan, contemplation of the Ishwar or God, supreme being, Brahma, true self and unchanging reality. Number 3 is asana. Patanjali begins discussion of asana. It means posture. Sthir Sukham Asanam. An asana is what is steady and pleasant. Motionless and agreeable form is asana. Number 4 is pranayam. Pranayam is made out of 2 Sanskrit words. Pran, it means breath, and ayam, restraining, extending, stretching. After desired posture has been achieved, recommend the next limbs of yoga. Pranayam, which is the practice of consciously regulating breath. This is done in several ways: inhaling and then suspending, exhalation for a period, exhaling and then suspending, inhalation for a period, slowing the inhalation and exhalation, consciously changing the time or length of breath, deep short breathing. 5th is pratyahar. Pratyahar is a combination of 2 Sanskrit words, prati and ahar. Pratyahar is drawing within one's awareness. It is the process of retracting the sensory experience from external objects. It is the step of self-extraction and abstraction. Pratyahar is not consciously closing one's eye to the sensory world. It is consciously closing one's mind process to the sensory world. Pratyahar empowers one to stop being controlled by the external world, fetch one's attention to seek self-knowledge and experience to the freedom innate in one's inner world. Pratyahar marks the transition of yoga experience from first 4 limbs and that perfect external forms to last 3 limbs, that perfect inner state, from outside to inside, from outer sphere of body to inner sphere of spirit. Number 6 is dharana. Dharana means concentration. Dharana is which has the meaning of to hold, maintain or keep. Dharana as the 6th limb of yoga is holding one's mind into a particular inner state, subject or topic of one's mind. The mind is fixed on a mantra or one's breath, navel tip of tongue, any place or an object one wants to observe or a concept idea in one's mind. Fixing the mind means one pointed focus without drifting of mind and without jumping from one topic to another. 7th is dhyan. Dhyan literally means contemplation, reflection and profound abstract meditation. Dhyan is contemplating, reflecting on whatever dharana has focused on it. If in the 6th limb of yoga one focused on the personal deity, dhyan is its contemplation. If the concentration was one object, dhyan is non-judgmental, non-perceptual observation of that object. If the focus was on a concept or idea, dhyan is contemplating that concept or idea in all its aspects, forms and consequences. Dhyan is uninterrupted train of thoughts, current of cognition, flow of awareness. 8th is samadhi. Literally means putting together, joining, combining with union, harmoniness, whole trance. Samadhi is oneness with the object of meditation. There is no distinction during the 8 limbs of yoga between the actor of meditation, the act of meditation and the subject of meditation. Samadhi is that spiritual state when one's mind is so absorbed in whatever it is contemplating on that the mind loses the sense of its own identity. The thinker, the thought process and the thought fuse with the subject of thought. There is only oneness and that is called as samadhi. Types of samadhi. Samadhi is of 2 kinds, with and without support of an object of meditation. Samprajat samadhi, also known as savikalp samadhi, and sabij samadhi, meditation with support of an object. Samprajat samadhi is associated with the deliberation, reflection, bliss and I amness. The first 2 association, deliberation and reflection form the basis of various types of samapatti. The chitta is concentrated upon a gross object of meditation, an object with a manifest appearance that is perceptible to our senses, such as the flame of a lamp, the tip of the nose, or the image of a deity. Conceptualizations or vikalp still take place in the form of perception, the word, and the knowledge of object of meditation. When the deliberation is ended, this is called as nirvitark samadhi, savichar. The chitta is concentrated upon a subtle object of meditation which is not perceptible to the sense but arrived at thought inference, such as the senses, the process of cognition, the mind, the I amness, and the chakras, the inner breath or pran, the nadis, the intellect or buddhi. The stilling of reflection is called nirvichar samapatti. Thank you and namaste.